getting back to why I left the United States. You'll have to see part one, since this is part two. And continuing on my conversation about third wave feminists, but there also appeared to be a war on men. Do you ever wonder why people aren't getting married in the United States? Or simply put, why men have opted out of getting married? You know, if you think about it, if you're a man and you get married in the United States, you have to be an idiot. Okay? A moron to get married in the United States. Why would you want somebody to hold a loaded gun to your head? Look, I renounced my citizenship because I don't like slavery. So do you think I'm going to get married to enslave myself in yet another manner? So let me explain, because I know some viewers out there are going to find this very interesting. 70 to 80% of divorces are initiated by women. If the married couple has children, the vast majority of child custody goes to women, meaning men get limited access to their children, even though they're giving money to the mother. Okay. And I'm sure that most of those men, if not all of those men, would rather have the children with them. Okay? And they probably wouldn't even take any child support just to have the children with them. Then you have alimony. Alimony always seemed like a strange thing. You know, I've had friends who've gotten married, and as soon as they got married, their wives started working part-time or stopped working. Okay, well, the guy was making good money, but still, they stopped working because they didn't want to work, because they wanted to enjoy the free ride. If you have person A living with person B, and person A says to person B, don't worry about the expenses, I'll pay everything. You would think that person B would be grateful that they don't have to work. Yet our legal system has it that person B can get alimony. To add insult to injury, person A is taking care of person B. You're living in a better place. You don't have to work if you don't want to. Person A is paying for everything. Maybe they go on lavish vacations. What happens if the relationship breaks up? Person A has to keep giving money to person B. Person B should be happy that they got a free ride. So this thing with alimony is just completely absurd. It's just, you know, if I moved in, if I had a roommate and we were really good friends, my roommate made a lot of money, and he said, Jim, don't worry about it. You can just live here for free. And what happens if, let's say, my roommate sells his house? And I said, hey, I was living here for free. You're going to have to give me money now if I got to go rent someplace else. Does that sound logical? The next thing I want to talk about, the food in the United States is very unhealthy. You know, when I lived in the United States, I had very bad stomach problems. I didn't know what the problem was, but my stomach would be hurting me all the time. I started taking Tagamet like it was candy. Anyway, I started traveling around the world. I went to South America for 2 weeks, and after a week of being in South America, my stomach stopped hurting me. That's when I figured out, and then I started watching these documentaries, all the antibiotics, all the hormones, all the chemicals they put into food in the United States. The food is horrible. It's unhealthy in the United States. You know, it's just amazing how these big corporations have the government wrapped around their fingers, and the government just okays anything. And these big corporations, in order to save money, will just give you inferior food, an inferior product. If they can save money by adding chemicals to the food, by giving the animals hormones so they can grow twice as fast as before, by filling them up with antibiotics, the government just says okay to these big corporations. All these lobbies paying hundreds of millions of dollars to all these politicians. It's just a completely corrupt system. They've got Americans so completely fooled into thinking that the United States is the best place on the planet. Another thing, getting back to the relations between men and women, cancel culture. If I was working a professional job, I'd be scared to talk to women, because any accusation that a woman says could get you fired, ruin your career. You know, and I've had plenty of women say, you know, crazy things to me, you know, make passes at me, touch me, or, you know, do something. You know, what do guys normally do? Guys would just ignore you, just think you're sad and desperate. But women, they make a whole big scenario out of this. They make a whole big case, a whole big show. I mean, people need to get a brain in the United States. This third wave feminism is really destroying the United States. Another thing, another reason why I left the United States was healthcare. Healthcare is ridiculous in the United States. The prices that hospitals charge, just any place, any medical facility, the prices are insane, absolutely insane. And if, you know, I was self-employed for most of my life in the United States. So most of my life, I was uninsured. I didn't have health care. Because, you know, when I went to look for health insurance, it was outrageously expensive. Luckily, you know, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I never did drugs. Tried to do exercise every day, tried to eat healthy. You know, when I started working as a nurse, I was an engineer initially, but then I became a registered nurse. And I remember one day I'm at this hospital, I was in the ICU department, and somehow they had left the billing at the nurse's station. And I was taking a look at the bills that they were charging people. $35,000, $55,000, $75,000, $100,000, $150,000. If you spend a week in the hospital, your bill might be $10,000, $15,000. It's just insane. Meanwhile, living in South America, I just pay cash whenever I go to the doctor, and it's nothing. If people knew how they were getting robbed in the United States, there might be a revolution tomorrow. Well, looks like I'm going to have to make a part 3 to this. So, to be continued. Having left the United States and renouncing my citizenship, I feel I have the experience to help other Americans do the same. Renouncing my citizenship would turn out to be one of the best economic decisions I would ever make. Not to mention the benefits to my physical and psychological well-being. Today, I consider myself a free man. If you need help leaving the United States, renouncing your citizenship, acquiring a new citizenship, or just someone to talk to help you on this difficult journey, then contact me by email and we can set up consultations. You can also donate to my PayPal account. The information is in the low bar.